What's going on? And welcome into another edition of Pels and Whistles on the Believe Network. It's presented by Bet Online. I'm Daniel Salerson alongside Rel Myers, and I feel like I'm not sure what the title's going to be, but maybe it should be Ugh, another tough weekend for the Pelicans. A Sunshine State sweep, and not in a good way. Pelicans lost on Friday night to the Orlando Magic. And then on Sunday, a nice start to the game, a really
Mhm.
bad finish to the game in Miami. Wins in ugly fashion, but I rather win ugly than lose pretty. And Rel, that's where we begin. I think more so with Sunday's loss than Friday. We'll get to Friday's loss too, because
Whew.
we said the one thing you had to do this weekend was beat Orlando,
Yeah.
and you certainly didn't do that, whether Bi and Zion's healthy or not. That one was one to get, and then you looked so good to start off Sunday. You're like, all right, they're gonna split the weekend the other way and just do it the
Mhm.
tougher way. But then the way things ended, just kind of what did you see yesterday and how things transpired?
Yesterday, I will say that the first half was a ton of fun. I think just being with everyone and watching Devontae and Jax play like different players was a great time. And at the end of the second quarter, there things started to look a little bit nasty, and from that point moving forward, it continued to be nasty. But I don't know. We looked all right. We looked like we were gonna be competitive. I think we got up to, I don't know, maybe 14, 16 or so for a lead, but. Um, yeah, man. I don't know. It was like the definition of insanity, right? They just kept doing the same thing over and over again. Next thing you know, we got four turnovers back to back. So maybe it'll swing the other way. I don't know.
Yeah, 5 turnovers at the end of the first half led the Miami Heat to kinda get back into the game. New Orleans took a lead in the half, but then obviously things went south in quarters 3 and 4, but I would say on a positive note, I thought Dyson Daniels had himself a really good game, and it's nice to see
Yeah.
the progress he's making for New Orleans.
Yeah, it's we've been like dying for more Dyson time, and we didn't want to get it by having everyone be out, missing BI and Zion and Najee now. And Herb's been in and out of the lineup and everything. But yeah, I didn't have any complaints about Dyson yesterday, and the whole thing that happened with my ex good friend Bill Kennedy was not Dyson's fault.
On the list, William Kennedy on the list. We were just complimenting him last week how
We
he puts
just
on a great
were.
show in front of the camera after reviewing a play. He gets in there,
Yeah.
and then the 5 second count. And again, we can go through. You watch the video, you see four arm motions for William with
Hmm.
the 4 seconds, and then right before he's about to hit that five, Dyson does turn around and call timeout, but Williams already made up his mind that he was going to call that 5 second. And he was emphatic
Hmm.
about making sure that he got a 5 second call. And I think that's the biggest problem where you get so excited to make that call when, normally in sports, tie goes to the runner or jump ball or whatever. Like you
Yeah.
have to honor that for Dyson because he got it off before five. And I think what made me even more angry after the game in the pool report, there were two questions about some of his calls, one for
Mm.
both side, but the one for the Pelicans when he asked, why didn't you allow Dyson Daniels to call timeout? He
Hmm.
said he had five, it was not until 5.2 seconds where he whistled timeout. You're not counting in your head 5.2 seconds.
There's just no
Where,
way.
where did you get the 5.2? Do you
There's
have a
no way.
stopwatch on you when you're doing that? Did someone tell you that afterwards and then you got away with it? He said you have to release it in 4.9. So
Mm.
it's a 4.9 second violation, not a 5 second
Right?
violation.
Changing the
So why
rules?
why are you so quick to make that call instead of allowing that timeout? It just didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I was just taken aback, flabbergasted, whatever you want to call it. I could not believe that you would call that in that situation at that point in the game. Um, it's unfortunate, but I think if we had continued to play the way we did in the first quarter and a half, we wouldn't have been in that position. But again, we're missing a ton of firepower. So what can you do besides
Yeah.
say,
Are we gonna have to start counting one Mississippi 2.1.2.3.4.5.6.7 all the
oh,
way to three, and then
count all the letters in the word Mississippi?
yeah, exactly. One MISSISSIPPI, two MISSIS, and every letter
You're
is
good
a
at that.
point is a tenth of a second. And I
Right.
think maybe that's what Bill Kennedy was doing for 5.2 seconds. But man, I think it get just kind of put a bow on what happened yesterday as far as how
Mhm.
that game ended. As far as that call, obviously not going to blame the whole game on that one call, but that's a big call to make at the end of the game to lose on a 5-second violation that Dyson was aware. I think the call timeout before the arm was raised for number 5, and
Yeah.
you saw Antonio and Joel kept counting, and I think
Ugh.
Antonio kept getting up to 4, and then was like, he called the timeout afterwards. It was just crazy.
Well, to
Just
make
crazy.
matters worse, we still had a chance to win it after
Yes.
that and still couldn't cash in on that. And I thought that CJ's attempt was way too early, but I've seen other people say that, that's the best look that he might have been able to get. He was considered open by a few people. So, and I'm always willing to hear other people's opinions and be like, oh yeah, you got a good point. Um, just initially, I didn't like the way it looked. I felt like we had way too much time left. I feel like we didn't have to go for a three, but what can you do? So hopefully, they've lost four straight. Hopefully at some point when we get healthy, we can go on another 7-game winning streak, maybe 10, 11, 12. We need to start getting back in the W column because we were fortunate enough to have the teams behind us doing us some favors, but now Sacramento's passed us up. We're a game behind them, and Dallas is a game and a half behind us. And tomorrow we got an angry Denver Nuggets team coming in town because they just lost on a game winner from Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, speaking of Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, the Thunder are only 3 games back of 4th.
What? That's
At
nuts.
number 10 on
I'm
the
looking at
outside,
this.
you are
Yeah,
a 3-game losing streak away from dropping all the way down from 4 to 10 or 11.
stressful.
That's how the margin of error is so slim right now for the
Yeah,
Pelicans, and all these teams are starting to clump up together a little bit. Even you look at the Blazers and the Lakers,
yeah,
they're like 4 back.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
it at 11 and
LA's
12.
LA is 5 back from. Wait, hold on. They're 5 back from the third seed, and Portland is 5.5 back from the third seed.
But look at
Wow.
back from us. They're 4, I think, right?
Yeah,
4
yeah.
games back?
That's right. Ooh,
So that's why I think, you know, Friday's game cannot be stated enough how important that was for
and
the
stressful.
Pelicans to win, because when you are down with these two-star players, I think they are talented enough to still beat Orlando. I'm not knocking Orlando. They have a lot of
Mhm.
young pieces that I feel like wait till they all mature and grow and develop, and they're going to be a solid team in the East.
Yeah.
Curious to see how they look with Jonathan Isaac maybe potentially being back
Oh
today
man.
for the first time in 2 years.
Mhm.
But at the same time, you can't go on a 3-4 game losing streak right now. You just
Nope.
can't, because you don't want to bury yourself back into that play-in area and then finally get your guys back, and then you have to rely on going on a big streak like you mentioned. Obviously, it'd be great to go on one of those winning streaks, but the how hard it is to get to that point is
Mhm.
pretty tough. So stringing 3-4 wins together and staying in that 3-4-5 range is what you're looking for here. And you have Denver, as you mentioned, tomorrow night. You have a back to back. You face Washington on Wednesday. And then you have a back to back on Friday and Saturday, I believe,
Ew, do we? It's
which
Washington
ends
Saturday. It's Minnesota on
Minnesota
Wednesday.
Wednesday. So Friday, and then
Um,
you have Milwaukee on Saturday at Milwaukee to start a 3-game road trip that takes you to Milwaukee, Denver, and
Jeez.
Dallas.
Oh yeah. So that Friday they don't have a game. Um, the season ticket holder event is on Friday.
Oh,
So yeah.
all right, scratch that. I looked at this
Luckily,
calendar wrong. I can't read.
let's start from the top. Tuesday and Wednesday, back to back, Denver, Minnesota, and then yeah, on Saturday they got Washington. Sunday they go to Milwaukee, and Tuesday at
Oh, it's a
Denver.
Saturday, Sunday back to back.
Yeah,
That's why
road
Rel's here. I
home.
can't read. She's here to correct everything I do because I do it wrong, and that's why I appreciate her being on.
Had my calendar pulled up real quick. I'm like, wait a minute, this doesn't sound right. But
Because it wasn't right.
yeah. I'm I don't know, man. That game tomorrow, we tend to not do very well on national TV, and for us to be on national TV without Zion and potentially still without Bi, I feel like maybe they should just flex it. Just flex it. I'll watch it on
Too
Bally.
late.
Don't put it on national
Too
TV.
late. Speaking of BI, I asked you last week if you're going to put some
Hmm.
money down what day you think BI would come back, maybe make a little baby pool and again pick out a day. Clearly that was not last week at all. Do you think
Yeah.
this week he's back?
This week, I'm gonna say he's gonna come back on Saturday. That's my vote. I don't
So
think he'll play for either of the.
If Bet Online had a wager that said what day this week BI is coming back, you're thinking Saturday.
I'm going with Saturday, the 28th. home game against the Wizards. Good time to come back and, hit a couple of buckets in Kyle Kuzma's face, his ex teammate.
All right, fair enough. Well, BetOnline remains your number one source for all your sports betting this season. Everything from NFL playoffs to pro and college basketball, UFC, MMA, and more. You'll always find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends at BetOnline. With live betting options, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable, BetOnline is truly the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite leagues and events. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to join and receive your 50% off welcome bonus with your first deposit. Use the promo code BELIEVE. And if you're watching on YouTube, we're rocking our BELIEVE shirts right now. BLEAV. That's the way you spell it. To receive your rewards, betonline.ag, where the game starts. Yeah, I kind of agree with you as far as maybe Saturday, because back to back, you're probably not going to bring him back on a back to back. Or if he
Yeah.
plays in one of those games, it's going to be one or the other. You're not going to
Right.
have him play both. So why not wait the extra that gives him 5 more days,
Yeah.
play some more 5-on-5 because they're not going to practice on Thursday after a back to back.
Right.
So I'm not sure if they're practicing today. You're only
Yeah. We'll
limited, and
see.
that's the thing about the schedule is trying to get 5-on-5. There's not a lot of days to get 5-on-5 as much as, he
Mm-hmm.
wants to and the team wants him to. You gotta rest your guys here a little bit. But maybe having a day game yesterday certainly helps them being able to practice because they didn't get back at a really late time yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully he's practicing today. And we'll see how he does after today, and we'll find out a little bit more. But yeah, that'd be great. Can get him back on Saturday.
Yeah, and
Um,
it is
and
it's
then
it's really tricky, like you said, with the back to backs. Because I mean, even this weekend we have another back to back. So it's like, do you play him for the first game? You play him for the second game, but um, yeah, the schedule is not really allowing for a lot of days off. We didn't get to have 4 straight days off like Orlando did last week before they played us.
mm,
So,
or like the Lakers always seem to have every week
oh
is 4
man,
or 5 days off. Yeah, do not have that luxury just yet for the
what happened
Pelicans.
with them last night? Jeez, I didn't get to watch any of that game, but I saw that they were winning and then they were not winning at all. They were down by, I don't know, 20-ish. And then they came back and won by like, I don't know, 8 or something
I
like
think they were
that.
down 22 because I think I saw at
Jeez.
one point it was 68-46 in favor of Portland. Patrick
Mm,
Beverly was doing some talking. Then at the end of the game, came back and pointed at his watch. Dame time, the watch was
I hated
broken, so he
that.
had to put it back in his
I
pocket.
hated that.
And then his awkward press conference afterwards, where
Oh
he's like, I
yeah.
don't trash talk. We were down. The reporter's like, you were down 17 and talking to Dame.
Give
It
me a
was
break. I
it
didn't get to
was
hear Dame's comments because I heard that things got a little bit testy in his post game presser. But I mean, just stop asking Dame Lillard questions about trades and about him leaving and stuff like that. Like especially local people in Portland, right? Like don't he's not
why
gonna
is that
partake
being
in
brought
that.
up in the middle of the year? No matter if he's thinking about it
I
or
don't know.
not. I
I
mean,
guess because Portland is like they're pretty healthy and they're not trying to lose, but they're losing. Like, why is Portland way at the bottom of the standings with a healthy team? They're supposed to be better than that, I thought, but not my problem, not my team.
I think they're missing Christian James McCollum a little bit as
They might be,
well.
but I mean, hey, they got Anthony Simons, and he's pretty cool. But
They got some young talent on there. It's just a
they
question of
do,
whether Dame. I mean, I don't know. It. I don't see them trading him. It's not like he's going to be traded at the deadline
yeah. You know how
at
much this
all.
guy gets paid? It's a very
Not
nasty
more than
amount.
you.
I wish.
You're Rel
Jeez.
Myers.
If I was getting paid what Dame was getting paid, I'd be on an island somewhere today, right now. I'd be in the sand with my microphone.
But you'd still be doing the show. That's how dedicated you
Exactly.
are. That's what I took away from that.
Exactly.
You may be on an island somewhere, but you're still logging in and saying, Daniel, let's talk about the Pelicans. I like that.
Uh-huh, exactly. But yeah, I think he's due like 60 million next season or something. And I think I just, he's been loyal to them. They've been loyal to him. And just why even ask about it at this point? He's not gonna want to leave. He's been there, what, 12 years or something like that. So just let it be. Let it
Speaking of
be.
the trade deadline, was it a lot of people were talking about Devontae Graham
Mm-hmm.
yesterday and
Mm-hmm.
how he played a little bit better yesterday
Mm-hmm.
against the Miami Heat. And some were like, don't give him credit now. And some people are like, why are you dogging him? And I feel like Twitter was divided a little bit with Devontae Graham, but I feel like if the Pelicans are using him as a trade piece, a game like yesterday certainly helps that value a little bit for a team that may look for a shooter if he can consistently shoot like we
Yeah.
expected him to shoot.
We've seen this movie before, you know. Same with Jackson Hayes. We've seen this before. So it's like, you know, don't you can get excited that they're contributing to the game, you know. And a lot of people are like, don't let them fool you. And it's
Exactly.
like, you know,
Don't fall for the
we
trap.
know. We know. But I'm not gonna not cheer for the guys when they're doing well, you know.
Yeah.
Either way, it helps. If you're doing well and you're like, you know, helping us win, even though we're not winning at the moment, but if you're doing well and you're helping us win, that's good. If you're doing well and you're getting your trade value up, that's good. So either way, it's a win-win.
I still believe in this team. I still believe in the depth that they have. But we talked about last week when you lose your two-star players, I think any team would be going through the same situation now unless they had a all-star starting five that they can be replaced in no time. But does this change your perspective on what the Pelicans should do come February 9th at the deadline? Or are you still kind of staying in your same place of maybe a piece here or maybe a big man or what has it changed at all?
Um, I don't think so. I still think that we need to make some sort of move. I think if you can upgrade whatever piece you need to upgrade, if that's available, do it. You know, why wait? I think I might have said before. You know, there's no guarantee on the Pelicans window opening and staying open for some predetermined amount of time. And I like to use Phoenix as an example of that because you know the mighty fall sometimes. So you gotta get while the getting's good.
You want to talk about a team that's fallen when their star player's been out, losing
Hmm.
Devin Booker and what they've gone through since then, and then you lose Chris Paul.
Yeah,
Again, I don't think we're on a trajectory like they were as far as losing that many games in a row when both those guys are out. But
I hope not.
comparing to two teams, as far as you losing your two best guys and then losing some games, like again, that's going to happen. Is the panic button a little closer to you on this Monday, or is it still far away and not within
somehow,
arm's reach?
somehow it's not that much closer, even though we're like on a 4 game skid. I don't think I don't think the panic button has moved much closer. I liked what I saw from some of the guys yesterday, and I think Trey got a couple of dunks or something, and
Trey played well.
Jackson was out there doing what Jackson does, you know, and I didn't look at his Instagram story, but I know that he did put something on there, so that was to be expected.
Any emojis from Billy over the weekend?
I think Friday. I think after Friday's game, he might have had some emojis with the you know the battery sign or whatever have you. But hey, man,
He should get
like
that sponsored. Energizer or something should sponsor his
Billy was
battery
gonna go out
emojis.
there and get blocked by Bowl just like the rest of us, you know. So it's just like, hey, man, you keep on with your battery emojis.
Unbelievable.
He's gonna
So,
land in a spot where he will be happier. I don't want to say well he'll be happy because I do still think that he's happy in New Orleans. I just think that he will end up landing in a spot where he's not gonna have to make you know snide remarks and things in these random interviews he's been doing.
you gotta appreciate the MVP. What other MVP is not getting the love like Billy? I think
Well,
that's the case here.
different
Where's the
league.
love? Where's
We're
the love
not in
for
the
Billy?
Eurobasket League. We're in the
If
NBA. This is Adam Silver's league, buddy.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's been kind of a frustrating weekend. I think I'm with you. I'm not ready to hit the panic button just yet. You're still sitting in fourth. Sacramento's playing some really good basketball, has jumped you. That's okay. It's still a long season where you can jump them back later on once you get your guys healthy. Because again, like we saw, this team was very, very good when Zion was on the floor. Again, we
Hmm.
still haven't seen that full roster yet based on Zion and BI going back and forth as far as so I think that's what excites me more than me being worried about what this team is doing right now because they are
Yeah.
going through a slump when their two best guys are out. And I don't know how many times we have to say that,
As
but you're
long as
missing
they're
50
out.
points per game.
We'll say it as long as they're out.
50 points per game, Rel. That's a
That's a
lot of points to be
lot.
missing.
That is a lot. You know, we got it. They just got to get healthy. That's all. And you know, for Zion, I think what should be today or tomorrow is his 3 week evaluation.
Yes.
So we'll see what they say about that. And I want to say pretty early on, after that injury report came out, I saw I want to say it was his trainer that Jasper Bibbs. Um, he had something of Zion sitting down, but he was like working. I think he had like a
Mhm.
battle ropes or something like that. So yeah, I think he's just been doing what he can in the meantime until he can get back on that hamstring. But I feel pretty confident about whatever that evaluation is going to be. I don't think that he's going to miss like any extra amount of time with this. I think he's really eager to get back out there, which can only be a good thing for us. So
Yeah, so what you hope in the next couple days, and maybe you get an update if they are practicing today from Willie Green, that maybe his evaluation looked good, the imaging
mhm.
looked good, and then ramping him back up to getting on the court. Because that's the thing. You're not just throwing him back out there
Right.
after 3 weeks when he's like, all clear. You got to get him back on the floor, got to get him playing, see how that hamstring feels when he's running.
hmm
It's not that easy to, I mean, not that I would know, but coming back from a hamstring injury doesn't seem fun. And so I
Nope.
think you have to keep that in mind. But if you are able to get BI back this week and get some good news on Zion that he is progressing to making a return in a week or two or whatever it may be,
Yeah.
then you start to feel a little bit better about how things are going to go and feel a little bit, all right, just got to ride this storm out a little bit longer. And again,
Yeah.
play some 500 ball. You have some home games this week. You have three of
hmm
them. I can't get the dates right on what days they are, but I know there are three of them. Tuesday, Wednesday, Denver, Minnesota, Saturday, Washington, and then you go on the road for three. So 2-1,
hmm
2-1 at home this week. That's the goal for
Yeah.
me. And no
Give me
Jokic,
something.
no Jokic Tuesday, right?
He was out yesterday, but
Was
I
that just a
don't
one game
think
thing?
probably. You know how it goes.
No. Oh, the
You know how
Pelicans are
it goes.
playing. Okay.
National TV. This guy's trying to go for a back to back to back MVP trophies. So yeah, he might jump out
Dressing
there.
like
But
James Bond whenever he walks into the building,
oh
too.
yeah, this guy with the suits. But but yeah, I'm not panicked. Still, I feel better today than I did on Friday or Thursday. Thursday, the last time we recorded. But yeah, hopefully Zion back in a week or so, maybe 2 weeks. Bi back within the week, hopefully, and we should be able to string together some wins. I think normally when we reinsert Bi back into things, we go into some sort of slump at that point. But hopefully we can cut that short. We haven't had the luxury of having, CJ there in previous years when Bi is coming back from something. So I'm confident that they can figure it out, and then we'll see what happens in 2 or 3 weeks at the trade deadline.
Is Rel Myers hinting of a comeback as well? I saw some pictures at 5:40 a.m. in the morning that she was at the gym,
Yep.
getting some shots up.
Yep. I was at the Jewish Community Center where I am now a member.
Nice.
Signed up and yeah, they open up at 5:30 for open gym. So I said, "Hey, why not just go at 5:30?" So got there at about 5:31. Got on the court, got some shots up for about 45 minutes. It felt good. It's like riding a bike, man. I just do my form shooting, do a little mid-range stuff. I was hitting some threes. Felt good. It's
It's
nice.
nice to have one athlete on the show. It is to have one athlete on the show. So I appreciate someone getting some shots up and I'm glad it's you and hopefully maybe we'll see you on the court soon. I want some videos of the mid-range shot. I think that's
Yeah.
next.
Yeah, it was my first time there, so I didn't wanna just, like, whip out the camera and just start recording
Yeah.
myself, but, I won't bring my tripod there. But yeah, I'm planning on doing that, Monday through Friday. Just start my work day off like that and, feels good.
All right, and we're planning on being back with you this week to talk more Pelicans hoops. Again, Tuesday, Wednesday, home back to back. Denver on Tuesday, Minnesota on Wednesday, and then a
Ooh.
Saturday, Sunday back to back. Saturday, Sunday, the
Yep.
Washington Wizards and the Milwaukee Bucks. Hope you can join us on the Believe Network. Hopefully, we have some good news this week regarding BI and update from Zion Williamson. It's a big week for the Pelicans as we're approaching a little over 2 weeks from the trade deadline. I think things
Yeah.
are starting to gonna pick up as far as agents leaking some things. Teams are showing interest in this
Mhm.
guy. This guy might be ready to leave, or I
Yeah,
think it's gonna
Woj and
be
Shams are ready.
whoa, they get those alerts ready. And also
Yeah.
again, make sure you're following the right people. Don't fall for the fake Woj,
Oh,
the fake Shams.
please.
Everyone, you gotta watch out.
Get
Maybe
ready,
Rel
see.
maybe Rel will break some news. We'll see if Rel can I wanna see you beat Woj in a tweet.
Man,
So,
I don't know. I don't
get in
know if
on
I
your
can.
sources.
We'll see what I can pull off. But before we head out, I got to mention the 10 game breakdown. If we don't win the next 3 straight games, which sounds crazy, like right, gonna win these next 3 games, but this will be the first set of 10 where we go under 500. Games 41 through 47, we're 2-5. But up until this point, we were 5-5, 7-3, 6-4, 6-4. So I think that when Zion and Bi get back, they owe us 9-1 stretch or 8-2 stretch, something like that.
Shoot for the stars, 10-0. I want 10-0. I want a 10-game winning streak.
Let's do it. Yeah, shout out to the Memphis Grizzlies for winning how many? 11, 12, and they lost the
Yeah.
last two. Thanks, guys.
Shout out to
There's hope
Shannon
again.
Sharp getting in a fight too. We
What a
didn't even talk
mess.
about that, but I don't think we
Yeah.
need to.
I don't think we need to. I think I will say that Shannon is not special, and he probably should not have been allowed back after that happened because they give you a conduct card when you sit down there, and he was breaking all the rules. So it is what it is.
You also can't wear an Afghan as a sweater and then come after players.
That thing was $3,000.
That was 3 grand.
It was
My
3 grand.
grandma can hit that for $10. I need a new business partner. I need to hit her up and be like, all right,
Yeah.
grandma,
Yep. It
these
was
athletes,
patchy.
these athletes will wear these things. Just put
Yep.
some 2 sleeves on it and we'll be okay.
Figure it out.
Holler at
Figure it
grandma.
out.
Afghans. I'll be wearing one on the I'll be wearing one on the show.
Pretty soon.
And
Pretty
talking
soon.
more trash. That'll kind of ignite me to start talking trash about these NBA players that are way more athletic and richer than I am. But that's
Yep.
okay.
Don't get
But
beat up.
shout out to Shannon. Way to fuel the fire there. There, buddy.
Uh,
But that was okay. That was pretty entertaining, at least for me to see on Friday night. But
it was.
hopefully this podcast entertained you. We certainly had some fun. Yes, it's not fun talking about losses, but at the same time, every team goes through this. And right now, when your 2 best players are out, this is what happens sometimes. But hopefully, a new week, hopefully, some
Mhm.
new news from both of our star players, and then maybe we can get back on the right side of that win column and start climbing back up into that 3rd spot. And hopefully, that beam does not light too much this week in Sacramento. All right, that will do it for our podcast today. For Rel Myers, I'm Daniel Salerson. Thanks for listening to Pels and Whistles, presented by Bet Online right here on the Believe Network.